Great. Thank you very much, Chris. Our next item of business, if you want to put in the chat who you are and where you're from, that would be great. You can do some networking as we're going through this session this morning. And the other thing I wanted to mention was if you have a question, please put that question in the chat. You will not need to raise your hand. All questions will go in the chat. And then at the end of our session today, I will certainly get to as many questions as possible. Again, my name is Brian Cummings. I'm with the Department of Workforce and Economic for the County of Bucks. I'm happy to have all of you on this morning. I want to kick it over now to Billy Barnes, who's the Executive Director of Workforce and Economic Development. Welcome, Billy.
Thank you for the introduction, Brian. Good morning, everyone. I'm Billy Barnes, Executive Director of Workforce and Economic Development. Welcome to our WED Talk today about the many economic development resources for local businesses. Today's webinar is part of the WED Talk series that begin in June of 2021. For those joining for the first time, WED Talks are master classes on hot topics for the workplace. Each month, trusted experts present research and insight into practical solutions for those challenges faced by our business community. I encourage you to attend WED Talks throughout the year for news, ideas, and best practices that help businesses and their employees thrive. Today's discussion focuses on connecting local businesses with assistance, resources, and services to thrive in 2023 and beyond. And now I'd like to turn things back over to Brian Cummings, Program Manager for Economic Development, to introduce today's presenters. Brian?
Thanks, Billy. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our speakers today. We have Commissioner Harvey, the Chair of the Bucks County Board of Commissioners. Paul Bencivengo, he's the President, Chief Operating Officer of Visit Bucks County. Bob Cormack, the Executive Director of Bucks County Economic Development Corporation. Jeff Dorwalk, Executive Director of the Redevelopment Authority for the County of Bucks. TJ Lonergan, the Deputy Executive Director of the Bucks County Industrial Development Authority. And finally, Mark Solis, Sector Partnership Program Manager for the PA Curly Bucks County. Commissioner Harvey, do you want to help with our kickoff this morning? So seems like your audio was off. So we're sorry, Commissioner, we couldn't hear you. We'll give you a couple seconds, and we certainly understand technical difficulties in today's world, especially with so many speakers on today. We'll just give it Commissioner Harvey a minute to fix his audio, and then we'll get started. Again, thanks everybody for joining this morning. We did have 118 people sign up for the session this morning as my last check. And so we have about 65 joining now. So, and again, thank you all for putting your information in the chat. That helps with a little bit of networking as we move throughout our world here. And one quick other order of business, if you want to make sure your audio is muted, that'll certainly help with the speakers that we have today. I appreciate it. Okay, I believe that Commissioner Harvey is still having a little bit of issues. So what we'll do is when Commissioner Harvey is ready to join and has his issues corrected, we'll certainly welcome him back. But for now, we'll start with TJ. TJ, do you want to kick us off?
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Brian, and thanks everybody for joining. I know it's early on a Wednesday, so really appreciate you guys jumping on here. Let me go ahead and just share my screen here. let's- All right. Everybody, that's working. Everything's good. All right.
Good to go, TJ.
Great. All right. So again, my name's TJ Lonergan. I'm the Deputy Executive Director for the Bucks County Industrial Development Authority, based over here in Doylestown and servicing everybody within the county. Just to give you a little bit of background on who we are and what we do, and hopefully we can take something away from that after this presentation. But we were founded in 1967, so we've been an entity of the county for quite a long time. Originally trying to help solely with industrial manufacturing enterprises, but we've evolved over the years into really being able to help a diverse group of businesses, from nonprofits to very large scale businesses, all the way down to mom and pop retail shops all throughout the county. We're a quasi governmental agency, so our board is appointed by the commissioners, but we're somewhat separate from the county, but we work closely with the county government to try to make sure that we're promoting economic development as best that we can. As you can see there, our staff, Pete Krause is our executive director. Like I said, I'm the deputy. We have Alicia here at our office, as well as our board members and the commissioners up there as well. So to dive right in, the first thing that we're able to assist with is we have internal loan funds that we're able to make small loans to businesses, from everything from working capital to helping out with maybe taking a second position for a property acquisition, or to purchase a piece of equipment. As you can see on the screen there, we have several different loan programs that have been accumulated over the last 50 years in terms of where the sources of funding are from, and they can be used for a variety of different things. Really what we're trying to get to is to help business make a growth step as easy as possible by providing some kind of low interest financing mechanism to get them moving forward, whether that's a retail shop or a manufacturer. We're, again, agnostic. You might say Industrial Development Authority on our title, but we really range the gambit in terms of who we're able to help. One great example that we have is up in, hopefully, if you haven't been to this yet, please get up there as soon as you can, especially in the summertime. It's a great little spot up off of the main downtown in Quakertown, the Trolley Barn. It's it's kind of like a mini Reading terminal with a lot of different food stops. We were able to provide them outside of the regular financing that they had for the redevelopment of the project. We were able to provide them $1 million in financing to help get that project over the hump, and to make it a reality and the success that it has been so far. Right now, as we're talking, I mean, they're really doing well. 75 full and part-time employees, and a really big boon to the downtown area of Quakertown, and hopefully a spark that keeps that momentum rolling. That's just one of a number of examples of us being able to help in a variety of different ways to help a business to grow and to create something and redevelop a property. Another major thing that we do is something called tax-exempt financing. As an industrial development authority, we are able to work in conjunction with a financial institution to be able to issue tax-exempt bonds, either to nonprofit corporations or to small manufacturers. So there's different limits for small manufacturers on how much it can go to, but it's about $10 million is the cap there. There's no cap for nonprofits, but it really is a great source. It's a beneficial source for a business. You get a preferred interest rate because it's a nonprofit debt issuance. It's usually about a point savings from there. It's great for the local community bank. They're able to get something called CRA credits, Community Reinvestment Act, to show that they're investing back in the community. And it's a great partnership between the bank, the local and being able to get a project over the hump. As you can see, these are pictures of the Lower Bucks YMCA. That was one of our most recent issuances. That was about a $17 million issuance with the folks over there. Another one that we've done, another one up in Quakertown. We help all the business. I'm realizing I put a lot of recent stuff has been up in Upper Buck, so we help all over the county. Quakertown, Clover Manufacturing, we did about a $2.8 million tax exempt issuance for their expansion of their facilities, and we're actually working with them right now to do another expansion this year. They're continuing to grow. They do prefab manufacturing for materials and things like that. Great business. And again, it's something where they just needed, they paired it with existing issuance that they were going to do with their bank. QMB was the lender, which is local bank up there, and we were able to get that. Another thing I want to throw out there, something that's new for us. It's something called the Bucksville Startup Fund that we manage, and it's $25,000 investments into local startups to help promote economic development. Our philosophy is that we want to try to capture these businesses early, and have them based in Bucks, grow in Bucks, and thrive in Bucks by helping to give them an initial infusion of capital to get them moving in the right direction, and hopefully get them to the next level in terms of a seed round and things like that to keep them growing. As of today, we're a little bit over that 395,000 investment. We're getting closer to a $500,000 invested. We have programs fully funded for the next 5 years from a recent award, a grant award that we were able to capture. So we're hoping to make this a permanent fund and something that's cycled through. We make about 5 awards a year of 25,000. It's a rolling application process, and all that information you can find on our website. If there's a startup business that you're looking to look for some funding to get rolling and off the ground. Some other things that we do as well, some grant administration. So I don't expect anybody on this call to be masters of the complex world of finding these economic development grants. Sometimes all the acronyms make me have a headache, so I don't expect anybody to have to remember what they are. Leave that to us. But we do help facilitate a variety of different grants. There's Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program, the RACB grants. That's probably one of the largest ones that we work on for larger redevelopment projects or expansion projects for a business or a nonprofit, as well as anything from EPA grants, LSA, which are the local share account grants, to actually helping to facilitate some KIS tax credit awards that we did this past year. But really, I tell everybody, if you're looking for some kind of grant money, you're really not sure, just ask. The worst you could do is ask, and I'll at least be able to point you in the right direction or to refer you to one of our development partners. I don't expect everybody to know it, but leave it to us to help point you in the right direction. A great example of this is Thrombolex over in New Britain. We're working with them on a RACB right now that was awarded last year. They're also going to probably pair it with some tax exempt financing. They're looking to expand their current facility and to bring manufacturing in-house. Really great company. They actually thread through a cath into your heart, and that the wires there break up a clot and inject right into the clot an anticoagulant. It's able to break it up. So, and what I love about this is I would have no idea that a business like that is based in Bucks County, and it's based in New Britain. Really, really great company. They're going to really great founder in Marv Woodall. A lot of experience. So a really fun, exciting project. But again, that's something where we're able to pair a numerous amount of funding sources. And that's my contact information. Hopefully I kept it within the time frame here. I think I'm right at the 10-minute mark, Brian. If there's any questions, I'm looking forward to that later. But yeah, thank you for your time, and thanks for everybody for jumping on and looking to learn how we can help here at the county and help you grow your business. That's what we're trying to do.
Fantastic. Thank you, TJ, for providing that information. Some really great success stories there. Some really good knowledge. All right, thank you very much. And we'll move on to our next speaker. We'll have Bob Cormack. Bob, you're up next if you want to share your screen, or you can get started.
I will certainly attempt to do that. Thank you.
Yeah. We see it, Bob.
All righty. I'm just trying to get to the very end. Bucks County Economic Development Corporation was created in 1958 by the Bucks County Commissioners and the Bucks County Planning Commission in reference to the Pennsylvania Industrial Development Authority, better known as PETA. PETA is a loan program that is offered by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania through the Department of Community and Economic Development. PETA is a program that has evolved like all of our other programs that we offer in the county. What PETA has evolved from strictly being a company or a financing institution through the state just for manufacturing. It has now progressed into looking at other industries from medical research to office type projects. PETA is a second tier financing program, basically for land, building, and equipment. It takes a second position with all three of those. You'll have the bank in the first position. PETA comes in a second with 10% equity. The PETA program does $2 million outside of the enterprise zone and $1.25 million within the enterprise zone. So if, do I need to do something there, Brian? Did I just mess up here?
Nope, you're good.
Am I right? Okay, good. That also then transfers into what they call is the PETA Small Business First Fund. That is a loan program that goes up to $400,000. Again, it's a 50-40-10 relationship, primarily used for machinery and equipment. And we do use it for some smaller projects. We also have the PETA MELF, Machinery and Equipment Loan Fund. Again, that's up to $400,000, second position, 10% equity. Bank comes in with 50%, PETA comes in with 40. The next program we have here is the Business Builder Program. That's a fund that the corporation put together many years ago, basically in 1989, to help small businesses in Bucks County. It's the corporation's dollars. We can go up to $200,000 to $350,000 per project. We are about equal to prime, maybe about a point below prime. We feel that this program really has been a stopgap for smaller companies looking to expand and grow in the county. We have another program called the Diverse Business Financing Initiative. This is a program that came out of the DCED through the PEDFA office, Pennsylvania Economic Development Financing Authority. We applied for the fund for a regional basis with the 4 suburban counties, the Lehigh Valley and Berks County. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania saw fit that the allocation for that region was $250,000, a little short, but we have made it work primarily with companies in Bucks County. We have currently, it's a revolving loan fund. We've currently about $30,000 to $35,000 within that account. We also have what they call as tax-free financing. We do that for a couple different entities in the county besides working with TJ's office. We do work with other IDAs in the county to provide tax-free financing. Not to belabor the fact that we can do not-for-profits and for-profit, primarily manufacturing companies where they have at least 75% manufacturing space, which makes them eligible for the project. It is a program that's financed through banking institutions, which, as TJ indicated, gives them a below prime rate. All of the programs that I've listed, from PETA to Small Business First to Business Builder, Diverse, they all are below prime finance. So we can help small and medium-sized companies grow. The next program, it's not listed here because it's brand new. We're going to announce it next week. It's called the Pennsylvania Catalyst Loan Fund. It is technically what they call as the Pennsylvania SSBCI program, which is Business Credit Initiative, Small Business Credit Initiative. It features fixed rate financing between $50,000 to $500,000. Our interest rate is 4.75%. Minimum is a $20,000 project. Priority will be given to diverse business owners, as well as business owners with less than 10 employees. It is a brand new program. If you've got any interest in looking at that program, please give us a call. My information is provided by, I guess, from Brian. Our contact information, I'm the executive director. There's our website, plus with the loan, Jim Palakowski is our loan manager. So we handle all the things in the office directly. We have a whopping staff. We have 3.5 people on our program. So we consider ourselves a lean, mean fighting machine, as they would say. And I think we do a fairly decent job. Last year, we looked at over 34 million dollars in capital investment in Bucks County through our activities. 27.35 million were through banking institutions, and we created and retained 316 jobs in the county last year. So it was a great year, better than 2001, and we're expecting our numbers in 2023 to move forward. That's my information. If you've got any information, please give us a call. Be more than happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. We appreciate the comprehensive loan program overview, and a little bit of breaking news that you were able to share for a brand new program that you'll be releasing next week. So I appreciate all the information today. Next up on our list is Jeff from the Redevelopment Authority. Jeff, do you want to share your screen?
Sure thing. How are you looking?
Looks good to me.
We're up. Okay.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Darwalk. I'm the Executive Director of the Redevelopment Authority of the County of Bucks. We're located in Bristol Borough. We're an organization that was created in 1962 by the county commissioners. And we're empowered by Act 385, which is more commonly known in the state of Pennsylvania as the Urban Redevelopment Law. Basically, what we do is we assist municipalities, businesses, private developers, homeowners, and nonprofits located in the County of Bucks in rehabilitating blighted and deteriorated properties and the reuse of abandoned or underutilized industrial, commercial, and residential sites. So we operate all throughout Bucks County. These are some examples of some blighted properties, industrial, residential, and commercials that we've worked on over the years all throughout Bucks County. And I'll have some other examples as we go along. A little bit about us. Like the IDA, we're a quasi-public agency. We do have the power of eminent domain. We can plan, administer, and implement redevelopment and community improvement projects in the County of Bucks. We also can provide assistance in identifying and obtaining public funding for industrial, commercial, residential improvements or expansion projects. And in most cases where we operate are in the situations where the private sector and or local governments cannot effectively perform. So we often step in where there's barriers to development or redevelopment and try to find out the solution. So basically we can help turn this, which is a site in Mooresville Borough on Bridge Street, into this, which is the Renaissance building on Bridge Street, commercial building, which has numerous tenants in it. And we can help turn this, which is a former industrial site in Bensalem Township on the riverfront, into this, which if you've been down that way, this is the Waterside development. So we were very actively involved in that project and getting both of those projects moving forward. So some of the key programs that we work with when we're working on these projects, Bucks County Brownfields program, the Bucks County Enterprise Zone, and then I'll also touch on some other tools that are in our toolbox that we commonly refer to or use. So a little bit about the Bucks County Brownfields program. We've been extremely active in the redevelopment of brownfields in Bucks County since the creation of Pennsylvania's award-winning land recycling program that was created in 1995. It's also known as Act 2, or the Voluntary Cleanup Program. We really officially launched that program, I would say, back in 1996, when we got one of the first ever EPA National Brownfields Pilot Demonstration Grants in the amount of $200,000. And that was used to identify and prioritize brownfield sites located in the enterprise zone. We've expanded that program since then to all of Bucks County. We facilitated the reuse of dozens of brownfield sites throughout Bucks County. We've leveraged millions of dollars in public funds that have brought in many times that in private funding to rehabilitate brownfield sites. So we're extremely active in pursuing those public funds to assist in the assessment, remediation, and reuse of brownfield sites. And I think we've worked on over 300 acres of brownfield sites, which we always like to say is a great companion to the county's robust open space program, because if you're redeveloping brownfield sites, you're not developing greenfield sites. So what is a brownfield? Most people refer to the EPA's definition. A brownfield is a property, the expansion, redevelopment, or reuse of which may be complicated by the presence or potential presence of a hazardous substance, pollutant, or contaminant. And this is just one example of a site in Percy, which is now the headquarters for, well, it was First Savings Bank, now Penn Community Bank. There's two key programs that we commonly use when we're working on brownfield projects. EPA brownfield grants, TJ touched upon that. There's assessment grants, cleanup grants, and revolving loan fund grants available from the EPA that usually come to the public entity like an IDA or an RDA that we use to work with private sector or other interests in rehabilitating brownfield sites. And also the Pennsylvania Industrial Sites Reuse Program, the ISRP, the alphabet soup of things that we use quite a bit on our projects. And pictured here is a Bristol Township project property that was severely underwater with tax liens and with federal, state, and other liens, which we got involved with, did a cleanup assessment, and now it's a multi-use building with that was condoed, and there's two different owners. Just a very successful project. On the EPA community-wide brownfield assessment grant, happy to announce that we were recently awarded a $300,000 grant to be used to update our brownfield inventory for Bucks County. We could also use those funds to perform phase 1 and phase 2 environmental site assessments, and then develop cleanup plans for priority sites. So by the end of this week, we should have on our website a brownfield form where you can submit sites that you may know of or may think that are brownfield sites. And we want to hear from you, and we want to hear from the communities about those sites. Some that we might not be aware of, that we should be aware of, that we can take a look at and see if what's going on there, and if there's a way we can step in and help promote that site's redevelopment. So I encourage you to go onto our website. Again, that should be available by the end of this week. And if you can think of any sites, it could be a vacant corner gas station, or a former dump site, anything like that. That's what we're interested in hearing from everyone as to what's out there in Bucks County. Another one of our go-to programs is the ISRP program. This is offered by the state, programs in the form of grants or low interest loan. And that's used to perform phase 1, phase 2 environmental site assessments, and also remediation. Grants and loans can be up to $200,000 to do assessment work. And then grants and loans can be up to $1 million to do remediation work. For loans, interest rates are 2%, 5-year terms for assessments, 15-year terms for remediation projects, and there is a 25% cost share match for both grants and loans. Any program that would be grant funding would have to come through a public entity like the Redevelopment Authority, And we often partner with private entities to access those grant funds. But businesses can also apply directly for loan funds for brownfield projects. Just real quick to talk about the Bucks County Enterprise Zone. This is a state designation that addresses deteriorated, distressed, and blighted industrial and manufacturing areas. The designation aims to improve standards of living through revitalization, attraction of new business, and creating job opportunities. So in Bucks County, the Enterprise Zone was first established in 1997, and it's administered by the Redevelopment Authority on behalf of the participating municipalities. Those municipalities are Bensalem Township, Bristol Borough, Bristol Township, Falls Township, Lower Southampton Township, Mooresville Borough, Pendle Borough, and Tullytown Borough. We got the zone redesignated in 2020, and that's a 5-year designation, so the term will expire on June 30th, 2025. Here is a map of the purple shaded areas would be generally where the enterprise zone boundaries are. Mostly they're going to be located in areas that are zoned for industrial and manufacturing uses. In our most recent designation, we were able to include some downtown areas. So if you're on like Mill Street in Bristol Borough, Bridge Street in Mooresville, we're able to get those areas included because they're kind of tied to historic industrial uses. So for businesses, the benefits of being in an enterprise zone would include priority consideration when you're applying for financial assistance to clean up contaminated sites under Act 2. So that goes back to the ISRP program that I was talking about. Priority consideration for any resources administered by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that would assist in leveraging imminent business investment, job creation in the enterprise zone. Priority consideration when bidding on state government contracts. So if you're a company that bids on state government contracts and you're located in the enterprise zone, you want to make sure that whatever entity you are bidding with is aware of that. It might give you a competitive advantage. Also, eligible businesses located in the enterprise zone can apply for the Enterprise Zone Tax Credit Program. It's a competitive incentive program that provides state tax credits to businesses or private companies investing in improving properties in the enterprise zone. It can be used for real property improvements, such as rehab, expansion, physical improvements to the buildings or the land that creates jobs or retains jobs. Any private company with an investment located in the enterprise zone is eligible to apply. The tax credit is equal to 25% of the amount invested, and it's capped at $500,000 per project. Any credits that are received, if you're awarded but not used, can be carried up to 5 years, and credits can be sold or transferred. Most companies that receive the credits do opt to sell them off. We've been very successful here in Bucks County in bringing tax credit dollars back to the enterprise zone. So we're very familiar with that program here at the Redevelopment Authority. If you're interested in learning more about that, please feel free to contact me. We also administer a revolving loan fund program. This is an additional incentive program that came out of the enterprise zone, but now is available to all of Bucks County, and we use it to encourage expansion and redevelopment in areas that are distressed, experiencing deterioration, disinvestment, and/or blight. Qualified businesses can access low interest financing. Right now, we're in the range of 2 to 5%, depending on the type of business, location, and project. Loan proceeds can be used for working capital, machine or equipment purchases, acquisition costs, rehab, and workforce expansion. And again, our objectives for this program are to eliminate blight, vacant, or underutilized properties. Importantly, to create family-sustaining employment opportunities, so job creation will be required as a condition of the loan, and those jobs have to be for persons of low to moderate income. And then real quickly, just to wrap up, a couple other tools that we frequently use in our toolbox. There's the Keystone Communities Facade Grant Program. We've run a very successful program in Bristol Borough. We've gotten actually 3 awards over the years for $150,000. It's a 50-50 matching grant, so the business or property owner will put up 50% of the funds up to $5,000, and the grant will match that. So these are just a couple of facade projects in Bristol Borough that we completed. TJ touched on the RACB program. It's one of the few programs that businesses can apply directly to as a grant program. However, the funding does have to go through or be sponsored by an eligible entity like the IDA or the RDA. So we do a lot of RACB as well. And then we also have a very active blight abatement program, which is usually implemented at the municipal level. But if we have any people that do redevelopment work or rehab houses or contractors, we're always looking to expand our list of qualified contractors to work on projects to get these properties out of their blighted condition, fixed up. So these are just a couple homes that we worked on in Bristol Township before and afters. And one of the benefits of the blight program, particularly for municipalities, when you use the redevelopment authority, when we select a developer, we can select a developer based on the merits of the proposal, as opposed to the highest offer for the property. So this is just one example of a project in Bristol Township. The competing offer on this property was a fireworks distributor, but the township felt that a different use, which is the Dunkin' Donuts that you see there, which is on the corner of Route 13 and Bath Road, was the better option for that location in the community. So that's what we went with, and that's what's there now. LERTA, it stands for the Local Economic Revitalization Tax Assistance Act. There are several active LERTA programs throughout Bucks County. There's just a few communities that have LERTA districts. Certainly may not be all of them, but you might want to look into that if you're considering improving or expanding your building that would trigger a tax reassessment. It provides an incentive for existing businesses or new businesses coming into a LERTA district to invest in improving their property. Basically, property owners or the taxpayer continues to pay the existing tax revenues on the property. The abatement applies only to the increase resulting from the new construction and improvements on the reassessment. So the idea is to attract new investment, increase tax revenues going forward. And typically the maximum, well, by statute, the maximum abatement period is 10 years. Depending on the community and how they approved it, it may be less than that. So that's my brief overview. I may have gone over my time. I apologize, but certainly if you have any questions on any of these programs that I went over, or if you have any projects that you're considering and you want to see if maybe there's a role for the redevelopment authority to play in that, be happy to discuss with you. So thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I was about to give you the 1-minute warning, but you did fantastic, and it was great to see the transitions of the brownfield properties and also the blighted properties. I really appreciate the pictures and the overview there. So thank you very much. Our next speaker, we have Paul from Visit Bucks County. So Paul, do you want to share your slides?
Thanks, Brian. Good morning, everybody. Just give me 1 second here to
Yep.
make sure I get this right.
Gotcha, Paul.
We're good. We see the PowerPoint, not my dog.
Yes, we see your PowerPoint. If you want to show your dog, I'm sure people would appreciate that as well. Thanks.
Izzy's day in the spotlight.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Visit Bucks County is a little bit different, but we work with the other economic development agencies in the county. We really focus on marketing. So we're funded by the occupancy tax that's on overnight rooms. And that's Airbnbs, bed and breakfasts, hotels, flag properties. That's collected by the County of Bucks, and then they distribute a certain dollar amount to us to market and promote Bucks County. So we promote everything there is to do. You know, everybody understands leisure travel, friends, you know, traveling families, traveling couple solo travel. But we also market to bring weddings here, special events. There's many wedding venues throughout the county. And after leisure travel, weddings generate the most overnights in Bucks County. Meetings, events, small meetings, you know, large meetings. So think about yourself and maybe some of the associations, or if your business brings in people or has sales meetings here in Bucks County, our team can help you source everything you need to execute that meeting, especially if it's tied with overnight rooms. Group tours and also sports tournaments. We look to bring all those markets to Bucks County. We also operate now a mobile visitor center I'll come back to that in a second. And we're essentially comprised of a marketing team, an industry relations and outreach team, and visitor services. We facilitate the Bucks County Tourism Grant Program. We recently distributed 51 grants to entities for marketing, for infrastructure, all focused on making Bucks County more attractive to the visitor. We have more than 1,400 tourism and hospitality partners. And again, we're funded by that occupancy tax, so there's no dues, no membership fees to work with us. We promote everything there is to see and do in every corner of the county. And here's a shot of our mobile visitor center. We're actually in the process of getting a wrapped van. Again, that will be, this is at events inside and outside, encouraging people, to move about the county, return visit, and educating visitors. Just a couple stats on, what the impact of the hospitality industry is to Bucks County. And again, we really focus on tourism and hospitality organizations. There's 7.58 million people that visit Bucks County annually. They generate $1 billion in economic impact, and the total hospitality workforce here is 25,000 jobs, just for some context for everybody. When people come, they spend their dollars on a variety of different things, the most being food and beverage. So that's why you'll see a lot of our marketing, the ale trail, wine trail, which I'll talk about in a second. But it's food and beverage, it's attractions, retail, lodging, overnight. We thought it was important to point out, so that nearly $1 billion breaks into direct spending. So that's the person, directly spending money at a hospitality travel organization. But then there's also what we call this indirect and induced spending. And that could be, the landscaping company that's supporting the hotels or restaurants or cleaning companies, any of those ancillary services that the hospitality industry needs to operate is also part of that economic impact. So even though you might be a degree removed from the travel industry, a lot of businesses here, support services in the county are a part of that economic impact when people come here and spend money in Bucks County. I'm just going to show you a couple of things. We again think it's important if you're a business owner or you live in Bucks County to see how we're marketing the county. Because a lot of what we do is outside of Bucks County in New York, North Jersey, Washington, D.C., the Harrisburg area. If we do run some digital or broadcasts within the Philadelphia metropolitan area, that's when the Bucks County residents will tend to see it. But more than likely, you don't, because it's outside. This is just a couple examples of these would be billboards. So we do still do some traditional billboard advertising on the New Jersey Turnpike. And then we do focus a lot now with digital. And these would be samples of social ads promoting Bucks County, Facebook, Instagram, that drive people back to the website. So we know visitors use our website as well as locals, that it's a huge wealth of travel information. Last year, we got more than 5 million views to visitbuckscounty.com and had more than 2 million sessions to the website. And while the site is a critical piece of information, we're also marketing the county through all these other platforms. And this just shows some context of a 60-day content comparison during the fall. That's a peak time for the website. So we had garnered about 1.5 million views during that late September, October time period. But you'll also see Facebook, TikTok, how many views and eyeballs are on these other platforms where we're marketing and promoting Bucks County. And you may have recently seen our television commercials that we did run this in the Philadelphia DMA, promoting Bucks County as a holiday destination. We do have a commercial that runs for every season. And when those commercials run, those eyeballs, come to the website, and ultimately we drive those visitors to our hospitality and travel industry partners. areas beyond just marketing the county that we're continuing to focus on, where we look to link even more with some of the other economic development agencies looking to, make Bucks County a very attractive place for businesses to open, is product development. So this product development I'm showing you here is more or less of a branding. So we launched the Ale Trail a couple of years ago, and this was to move throughout the county. And we know the other economic development agencies have played a key role in helping a lot of the breweries open, a lot of the small businesses. So you check into a brewery, you visit 5, you get a free t-shirt. We've had nearly 6,000 completions of that, and that's helping to move people around the county. Beyond just, promoting small businesses and enjoying that, the great beer and food truck scene, it's also, again, moving them around so they can experience all there is to see and do in between the breweries in Bucks County. So we encourage you to also partake in the Ale Trail and the recently launched Wine and Art Trail. And again, this is to encourage people to see art, connecting our wineries throughout the county, so that people will visit multiple locations. And then we felt this was kind of very applicable to the audience here today. And you can read this, but I'll read it out to you. And it's kind of this, live, work, play mantra that the hospitality industry, goes by. So it's, if you build a place people want to visit, you build a place where people want to live. You build a place where people want to live, you'll build a place where people want to work. If you build a place where people want to work, you'll build a place where business needs to be. And if you build a place where business has to be, you'll build a place where people have to visit. So I started on if you build a place where people want to visit, but you could really start at any point on this, on the cycle. And, this is how we see how just business in general and commerce helps support, the vitality of the destination that makes us an attractive place to live, work, and visit. So I'm going to stop my share. So I spent a lot of time, talking about how we market, but again, we focus on, supporting small businesses. We're the promoters, the advocates, and the marketers for the hospitality industry. So if you go to our site, visit buckscounty.com, you can go to the Contact Us page, and we're happy to work with you and connect your business if you're looking to get involved with the industry, or if you've got an industry in the hospitality industry, of how we can look to market and promote you. Thanks very much, and I'll turn it back to Brian.
Great. That was fantastic, Paul. And certainly I enjoyed, seeing the sites around Bucks, and then ultimately some of the tour spots available. So we'll hopefully hit those as well. And I was able to see the commercials, so that was great. And then real quick, Paul, the 60-day snapshot, that was amazing that those numbers were captured in 60 days for that amount for social media, the millions of people that are viewing. So really well done.
Yep, thanks. And we encourage everybody to get out there and enjoy your own backyard. There's lots to see and do right here in Bucks County.
Will do. Great. And so our next speaker today is Mark from the PA CareerLink Bucks County. Mark, if you can share your screen, that would be great.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Let me just get on here and share. Okay. So the PA CareerLink Bucks County is located in Trevose. We just moved from our location in Bristol. So we're in a brand new building at the Bucks County Technology Park at 4800 East Street Road in Trevose. We're right next to the pretty famous Trevose Fire Company, which has been there for seems like forever. So what is the Pennsylvania CareerLink? We're your cost-free workforce development business resource. Essentially, in layman's terms, we're your public HR department. We can help you with resources to help fill your open job positions and foster growth within your company. Some of the services that we offer are just being in tune with regional economic and workforce trends. All of our services are delivered for the most part on our website, which is the state job board, www.pacareerlink.pa.gov. We provide cost-free job posting services on this website. We have folks within our organization that work with our job seekers and clients, and we can refer those applicants that are qualified to your open job positions. We also provide services to those individuals looking for work in terms of assessments to determine aptitudes and skill sets. We provide training reimbursement programs to employers for new hires and for their current workforce. We conduct special recruitment events and job fairs throughout the county. We can provide relevant industry partnership group information depending upon your particular industry. And we obviously can provide referrals to our various workforce development partners, many of who are on this call today. So in terms of training reimbursement incentives, this is funding that is available to any business in the county for training your new hires that are qualified and for your incumbent workers that are with you right now. An incumbent worker is defined as an employee who has been with your company for a minimum of 6 months or more. And our training reimbursement incentives are fairly generous. For the on-the-job training, the reimbursement rate is a fixed 50%, and that is available for training plans that range anywhere from a few weeks up to 6 months. And those reimbursements are capped per employee at $10,000. So it's quite a cumbersome amount of money that is available to your company to help onboard new employees. Now, this isn't for every new employee. This is only for new employees that qualify. And the main qualification is if a person is currently collecting UC benefits, they would automatically qualify for this program. It's designed to help get those folks off of the UC rolls and into productive work. The incumbent worker training program is a program that we introduced about 4 or 5 years ago. It's extremely popular. It is designed to upskill your current workforce and make them more productive within your business. Reimbursements range anywhere from between 50% and 90%, depending upon the size of your company. And this is, again, this is for training using a third-party training provider. As I mentioned, this program is extremely popular. The funds are allocated on a first-come, first-served basis and available during our fiscal year, which runs from July 1 to June 30th. As far as job fairs and recruitment events, we hold these throughout the county from time to time. Our last one was held in November at the Career Link in Trevose. It's very, very easy to participate for a business. All you have to do is provide one active job post for a position that you're looking to fill, and that will reserve you a table and/or a private space for one-on-one interviews or open conference room for general company presentations. The job would be posted on the PA Career Link website. The event is actually posted on the PA Career Link website. And it's a tremendous opportunity for you to recruit qualified candidates at no cost. These job fairs and recruitment events are available to your business at no cost. So it's a tremendous tool to help try to find those workers that you currently do not have. As far as website navigation, when you go onto the Pennsylvania Career Link website, the web address is there on the slide. you can, when you actually post job orders, you can set up screening questionnaires, for those job orders. So if you have a specific requirement for the job, then you can list that requirement in the questionnaire. And it's a good way to filter out candidates that may not be qualified for the position that you're presenting, but then again, to qualify candidates, for your open position. This is where your employee profile will be housed, and any company that signs up on our website can be provided with credentials so that they can access the website themselves. This website's available 24/7, so an employer could really use the website at their convenience whenever they have the time to review applicants for their open posts, or if they want us to review the applicants, we can do that as well. There's a variety of different ways that this website can be utilized. As far as our social media handles, this is where we're located. You'll see our Facebook presence, our Instagram presence, Twitter presence, and LinkedIn presence. And then as far as employer contacts here at the Career Link, my information is listed there. Elizabeth Kepley is our supervisor of business services, and her information is listed. And then my colleague, Tom DeYoung, who is a business service representative and handles pretty much all of our on-the-job training contracts. These are our key people in our business services department. So please feel free to reach out to any of us at any time to find out more. If you're not currently signed up with our services, I strongly encourage you to do so. It is a free resource to your business. Anyone in HR knows that you really have to extend a lot of arms out there to get candidates, qualified candidates. And so we are one of those arms, and it's not going to cost your business a dime other than your time that's invested. So thank you, Brian. I really appreciate the opportunity to present. I think together with all the other presenters on today's seminar, that businesses have a lot of partners in the county to rely on for advice and direction, and we're more than happy to help.
Thank you very much, Mark, for the presentation and certainly reviewing the funding and the website. Some great information was shared. And finally, we have Commissioner Harvey. I believe Commissioner Harvey is able to join. Commissioner Harvey, if you want to assist with our wrap up today, that would be great.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. I apologize for the earlier complications with the audio. I think it actually probably worked better this way for me to kind of summarize, quite frankly. I'm, of the five, well, actually six, if you count Billy Barnes, as people you heard from, I'm kind of the least important when it comes to this topic. So I really think it's clear if you're on this Web Talk. Thank you so much for being on here. How active and how successful these agencies have been, agencies you've heard from, Workforce and Economic Development, the Career Link, Visit Bucks County, the Industrial Development Authority, the Redevelopment Authority, the Economic Development Corporation, all have been focused on improving economic situations and conditions here in Bucks County across a variety of spectrums. You talk about hospitality, you're talking about heavy industry, commercial, retail, residential. One of the things we focused on coming into this office, myself and Commissioner Marseglia and Commissioner DiGirolamo as well, is really having a more holistic approach to economic development. The person who's been sort of emceeing this event, Brian Cummings, is sort of the prime example of that. For a long time, if you wanted to find out something about how an agency could help you, you're really, kind of left to your own devices to sort of search around and find somebody, unless you had a professional engineer or solicitor who was helping you through the development process, or had some kind of connection, you wouldn't necessarily have known where to look to find state loans or marketing assistance or redevelopment money, et cetera. There really wasn't anybody at the county itself who could field that call and direct you to the right agency based on what you were looking for and your needs. We have that now with Brian Cummings in the position he's in, really hoping that he's really sort of like a hub, so that he's able to say, here, field an email or a call from somebody who's looking for something specific and say, oh, you know what, you really want to talk to the EDC. I'll connect you to Bob Cormack. Or, you really need to talk to Jeff Darwak at the RDA. I'll make that connection to you. And so it kind of takes, I think, the mystery out of it for many people. And I would be curious even, how many of the people on this Zoom or seminar had heard of all of these agencies and knew what they did. Some certainly may have, but for a lot of you, this might be very new. You may be learning things you didn't know. And they've been around, as you heard, for decades and decades, these agencies. And so we hope that this really kind of makes them more front and center and makes it easier for people, business people here in Bucks County and people who want to relocate businesses in Bucks County to do so successfully. So thank you for everybody being on here. Thank you to all the agencies for all your hard work, and I'll kick it back to Brian.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Harvey. I think it worked out better this way too. You were able to give a good overview, so I appreciate you jumping on and helping us all. We did have one question in the chat, and TJ, I believe this question you'll be able to assist with. It was about the Bucks startup program, Bucks Built, and do they work with nonprofits?
That program specifically does not, just because of the nature of the way that we structure the financing. But we are able to, through some of our loan programs, able to make micro loans of any size to help facilitate any nonprofit program that is going on. And then I would also, depending on what the program is, throw you right back over to Brian as well. Brian might be able to point you in the right direction with, if it's centered around some kind of internship or apprenticeship or something like that. I know that Workforce and Economic Development has some funding there that's not necessarily a loan versus more of a grant.
Great, thank you, TJ. I did put my information in the chat. If anybody has any additional questions, you can certainly email me. Also, through the invite, my information was on the invite. So if anyone has a question and is not sure where it should go, send me an email. I'm certainly willing to discuss and help you and point you in the right direction. I'm certainly excited to hopefully meet with many of you. I see many familiar faces on the call today. So I really want to thank everyone for joining today, especially our speakers, taking time from their day to review the great economic development programs that we have in Bucks County. It's been fantastic. So thank you all for joining today. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.